Hello everyone, back tuning into today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for next week to 10 days. For today's second video, going to take us to around the 21st of May. And we've got complex weather patterns coming up in around a week's time. So we've got high pressure dominating in the next few days. Going to give us plenty of dry weather. But as we get through to this time next week and beyond further into the third week of May, we're looking at low pressure developing to our south. How far north that low pressure gets is going to determine whether we have relatively dry conditions continuing into the second half of the month, or whether it could actually turn really quite unsettled, particularly for England and Wales, with showers, longer spells of rain, and possibly even thundery rain down in the south. Really complex, complicated stuff. So I'll talk you through it all in a moment as best I can. Just say weekend forecast has been released. That's quite straightforward to the end of the week anyway. Going to be dominated by high pressure, so lots of dry conditions coming up after today's showers. Have a look at weekend forecast and see what's going on. Right, so these are the 500 millibar height anomaly flowcharts for Penn State University for the next week to 10 days. We've got the ECMWF here on the top and the GFS, which I'll look at in a moment, is on the bottom. 500 millibars, 8 meters, an area in the atmosphere, high pressure and low pressure are being moved around by the jet stream running above. Red extrapolates to high pressure and blue to low pressure. So the ECMWF has this big area of above average heights, a blocking area of high pressure sitting to the north of the country from Scandinavia, from Norway, over to Iceland and Greenland, and then back into the top of the North Pole. Underneath it, we have a trough within the 500 millibar flow, covering many southern and southwestern parts of Europe. Obviously, the wind is going to be coming in from the east, as we got the high pressure to the north and the low pressure to the south. But the question is, how far north is this low pressure going to push its heavy showers, longer spells of rain, and possible thunder? How far north will that push? It does look as though it could be affecting particularly England and Wales in the week to 10-day time frame. The GFS is very similar, so again we see this big area of blocking. Actually, it's even more extensive with the northern blocking to our north. That's a very intense area of high pressure that's sitting to the north. We've got all of this low pressure to our south, real trough within the 500 millibar flow, covering many central, southern and southwestern parts of Europe. And again, we're trying to push showers, longer spells of rain, maybe thunder into more southern parts of the country from that trough of low pressure. But this is really complicated stuff. So the detail on this is going to be an absolute nightmare trying to pin down for any time around Friday, Saturday onwards. Generally, the further north you go, the closer you are to that blocking area of high pressure, so the drier it should be. Can't be guaranteed it will be completely dry. The further south you go, but you're closest to that low pressure in the 500 millibar flow, so the more unsettled it could become. This is how the upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles are looking for London today. The red line here is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. Starting off a bit cool at the moment, still a bit cooler than average. Early next week or through next week, temperatures going close to average, so it does warm up a bit, but not particularly warm. In the more extended range, though, heading into through the third week of the month and into the final week of the month, we do actually go warmer than average then with the upper air temperatures. But that is associated with an increase in precipitation. Put your teeth in, Gav. So we start off with some showers down here. These precipitation spikes just there for today. But then once that's out of the way, loads of dry weather coming up through the next 4 or 5 days. So we do get this drier spell of weather in the coming week. That's covered by a weekend forecast. By around Friday, Saturday, though, you see the precipitation spikes are coming back, and these precipitation spikes then carry us through the rest of the third week of May into the final week of May. Looks more unsettled, which you would expect if we've got low pressure to our south throwing up rain bands and maybe thundery showers into the south. You expect somewhere like London to be kind of like in the firing line for that. So it does look as though, particularly the southern parts of the country, there is a risk of wet weather returning after a drier spell in the coming week. Temperature anomalies from the 11th to the 19th of May are still a little bit below average, maybe a bit of a surprise given those upper air temperatures. But there will be some cold nights coming up in the next few nights with this high pressure. So although the sun in May is going to be really strong, of course, it's not quite at its highest point of the year, but it's not far off its highest point now. So it's really, really long days, short nights. It means that while the sun is beating down on the ground, temperatures will rapidly lift up, but we still have these chilly nights coming up. So tonight, Sunday night, Monday night, possibly even Tuesday night, temperatures will be quite low, and that will be enough to offset the warmer days if you see what's going on. So for England and Wales, it's a little bit cooler than average with temperature anomaly in the coming week. For Scotland, it does look a little bit milder than average. Notice in most parts of particularly Central Europe coming out quite cool there. Precipitation anomalies drier than average, so it is going to be a dry week coming up. We're going to be dominated by high pressure. Any precipitation is going to be either today or in around a week's time, but in between there should be loads of dry weather. So a bit on the cool side really overall, although days pleasantly warm in the sunshine and quite dry. That's how the GFS is looking for Tuesday. So this is all covered by the weekend forecast, of course. High pressure is in control for Tuesday, and it's still there for Wednesday, still there for Thursday, even though it's going further north. By Friday, the high pressure is becoming centre between Norway and Iceland. So it's turning into a northern blocking feature. We now have a trough within the 500 millibar flow covering much of France, Spain, Portugal, into the central Mediterranean. We're bringing in this easterly wind, and this trough within the 500 millibar flow is trying to push showers northwards. It's how far north those showers, if not longer spells of thundery rain, could get. That's going to be a real nightmare trying to ping down, I think. This is Saturday, a week's time. So again, high pressure blocking from Scandinavia to Greenland, low pressure underneath it. We're bringing in these easterly winds, and again we'll have showers, if not longer spells of rain, threatening more southern parts of the country. Heading up towards day 10, where we keep this blocking pattern going. This is incredible northern blocking that we've got here. High pressure within the northern latitudes, even going back into the top of the north part. We saw it on the 500 millibar height anomaly from Penn State University. Just huge amounts of northern blocking to our north, still patrolling the 500 millibar flow to our south, still bringing in these easterly winds. It means that the further north you go, the closest you are to that northern blocking, so the drier it's like to be. But down in the south, that's where we got the problems. Do we get these heavy showers, if not longer spells of thundery rain, pushing up from France? Very subtle differences will make quite major differences to whether the south actually goes into what could be quite a wet pattern with this, or whether it stays largely dry. In the more extended ranges, areas of high pressure eventually finishes up out to our northwest, and then allows real low pressure to come up from the south. So that's how we finish up, which is actually Bank Holiday Monday today, Monday 27th of May. As I say, May Day, late spring Bank Holiday updates. Getting confused with all these bank holidays. It's totally ridiculous, isn't it, having so many bank holidays in such a short space of time. And then after this one, we go through to August without one, and then we'll go from August through to Christmas without one. It seems totally daft having so many bank holidays in such a short space of time. I'm not sure what the idea is behind it. But anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. We'll go back to the weather. That's how we finish up with the chart for the late spring Bank Holiday Monday, which is the 27th of May. It's 384 hours away. It's unreliable, but it finishes up with high pressure out to the northwest and an area of low pressure coming up from the south. That will be threatening real rain into the south for the late spring Bank Holiday Monday. But bear in mind, that's over 2 weeks away, so it's very unreliable. Parallel GFS run looking like this. High pressure again centred over the top of the country for Wednesday. Then into second half of next week, that low pressure pushes northwards, allowing low pressure to develop to its south. So this is how we look in a week's time. Saturday the 18th of May has blocking up to the north. Big area of high pressure blocking around Greenland, northern parts of Norway, all of those sort of areas covered by high pressure. Low pressure is to the south, a little bit closer to us with the parallel compared to the operational GFS. That will threaten heavy showers, if not long spells of rain or thunder even, to southern parts of the country next weekend with a chilly easterly wind. Heading up towards day 10, so we keep this pattern going. We've got high pressure continuing to sit in the northern latitudes. We've got low pressure continuing to sit to our south. So further showers, if not longer spells of rain, likely in the south. But this is an incredibly difficult pattern to forecast. But I want to re-emphasize that. This is really, really complex and difficult stuff. So my job is about to get very, very hard indeed through next weekend and then into the days afterwards. A little bit beyond day 10, this is Wednesday the 22nd of May. So we've got an area of low pressure then developing around the country, still with this northern blocking feature up to the north. There's the low pressure sitting over the UK, so obviously that looks very unsettled with spells of quite heavy rain likely there, cool temperatures as well. Moving into the late spring bank holiday weekend, the high pressure eventually drifts out to our west, so well, it looks a little bit on the cool, a little bit on the showery side, but it's 2 weeks away, so I don't think it's worth worrying about. ECMWF, again, there's that area of high pressure on Tuesday. Everything up to around Friday is nice and straightforward, no problems. High pressure is in control, so there won't be too many complications. By the time we get through to the end of next week, this is Friday, 27th of May, the high pressure is drifting further northwards. Low pressure is developing within the 500 millibar flow across many parts of Europe. As we go into next weekend, this low pressure gradually starts to push northwards, so that by the time you get through to Sunday, just over a week away, we've actually got an area of low pressure sitting over England and Wales and stretching to over North Sea into Germany, Low Countries and northern parts of France. That could bring quite a lot of wet weather with it. Further northwards, you're close to that area of high pressure, so it should be a bit drier. But eventually, this is how we finish up at day 10. Still with the same sort of idea, really. Below average heights are troughing the 500 millibar flow across many parts of Europe, but blocking is still to the north. So particularly for England and Wales, we could have further showers there, but it is really complex. This is how the precipitation forecast is predicted from that ECMWF run from this morning. This is at tameteo.com. Starting on Wednesday, there's going to be loads of dry weather on Wednesday. No problems at all. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday will be dominated by high pressure, so we don't have many concerns there. This is into Thursday, and again, high pressure is dominating in the main on Thursday, so it should be a lot of dry weather. Maybe one or two showers breaking out on Thursday, but basically it's another dry day. But this gets us to Friday. Showers then are starting to move in from the east. As we go through from Friday through to Saturday, look at this heavy rain starting to push in from the east. Heavy showers, longer spells of rain in a week's time. And then as we go further into the weekend, well, it just looks very showery with showers, maybe some longer spells of rain breaking out, possibly some thunder in there too. So it does look as though there could be quite a bit of wet weather coming up next weekend, actually, and then possibly extending out beyond that. This is the suggestion, there, for heavy showers, maybe thunderstorms across southern parts of the country. That is going to be next weekend, next Sunday. So it's complex, it's complicated, but we could see some rain, particularly so for southern parts of the country, maybe quite significant thundery type rain. These are the options that are on the table within the ECMWF ensembles today from the Icelandic Met Office. This is for day 10, 21st of May, 240 hours away. We have 27 members of the ECM ensembles, including the control and the operational run. The operational run we're just looking at, that have high pressure up to our north and northeast, bringing in an easterly flow, and with low pressure to the south, there's the threat, particularly for southern parts of the country, of heavy showers, maybe even longer spells of thundery rain. There's another 17, but again have above average heights to the north, through here, below average heights to the south, so obviously they'd be threatening thundery rain into south too. And then there's 7 that have a high pressure more centred towards Greenland at day 10. Low pressure to the south again across northern France. Again, particularly for England and Wales, that will be threatening showers, if not longer spells of thundery rain. I have to say, it looks as though as we go through days 8, 9, 10, there is a chance of some quite wet weather here down across southern parts of the country. In 2 weeks' time, which is getting us into the bank holiday weekend, of course, is the 26th of May, 360 hours away. We have 24 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure building back in towards the country from the northwest. Not particularly warm, the wind direction would be northeasterly, but it would be mainly dry there. Then there's 15 with high pressure around Greenland. Low pressure is kind of like to the south-southwest of the country. So those 15 look quite unsettled. That's an unsettled option. And then there's 12 that have high pressure to the southwest, low pressure in the middle of the Atlantic, and we're bringing kind of like a westerly flow with them. Maybe more unsettled up in the north with those 12. Finally, just having a look at the CFS V2 for the next month. These are 500 millibar heights, break it down into weekly periods. The first weekly period taking us from the 11th to the 17th of May. The coming week has above average heights over the country and going to the north, below average heights across southern Europe. So a lot of dry weather coming up in the next few days. Not overly warm. The wind direction probably is a bit northeasterly, but to offset that, there will be plenty of sunny spells. Now, this is week 2. This is the 18th to 24th of May. You see the blocking to our north from Scandinavia to Greenland. There's the below average heights to the south and southwest. So again, particularly for southern parts of the country, we would be threatening heavy showers, if not longer spells of thundery rain. Winds in from the east across the north, in particular. So it's a very complex weather pattern, but it does suggest that down in the south anyway, there is a risk of some wet weather. That's how week 2 is looking. It's the 25th to the 31st of May. By then, we've got a trough of low pressure developing over Scandinavia with above average heights in the middle of the Atlantic. That looks like it's probably turning the wind into the north. Maybe cool and showery, perhaps, a suggestion there. And then week 4 looks rather odd. So what's going on there is that we have high pressure across eastern, southeastern parts of Europe. So that would be bringing heat out of North Africa into the east, southeast of Europe. For us, there's not much to work on, but there is above average heights to the south of Greenland. So you would probably be thinking a trough of low pressure somewhere around there, and the flow and the jet going something a bit like that. Could be quite cool and quite showery, therefore, through the first week of June. Maybe, dare I say it, a bit unsettled. But, of course, that's so far away. I've got so many sort of complex weather patterns to get through before we get to there that I wouldn't be worried really about what's happening in early June at this point. Finally, if you are enjoying the content at GazWebbies at the moment, please can you consider becoming a patron for GazWebbies. So this is GazWebbies' Patreon page. If you would like to become a patron, we've got 61 patrons so far, so hello and a big thank you to all of our patrons. If you would like to consider becoming a patron, then you just come to the GazWebbies Patreon page, sign up for a Patreon account, and then you can give an ongoing monthly donation to GazWebbies. It could be anything from $1 a month upwards. You'll pool in with all of the other patrons, and you will formally become a patron for GazWebbies. We'll give you a mention in the videos. We'll say thank you so much for becoming a GazWebbies patron. As they've got 61 patrons so far, so big thank you to all of our patrons. Alternatively, you can give a one-off donation through PayPal. So this is the GazWebbies PayPal page. You just come here, sign into your PayPal account, and then you can send a one-off donation to GazWebbies. And by doing that, you're helping us to pay for our website. You're helping us to keep content online. You will get a shout-out in the videos. We'll say thank you so much for your kindness and for your generosity. We'll give you a mention in the vids. And it's just thanks so much to everybody for doing that. It's really something very, very special that you're doing, helping us to pay for our website. And keep the content online. So that's how it's looking today. Really complicated weather patterns, and I think that came through during the video. So we are going to have a lot of uncertainty from around Friday, Saturday onwards. Just how unsettled is it going to get in the south? That's to be revealed. With this kind of weather pattern, it can turn unusually wet down in the south, actually. It can be surprisingly unsettled for southern parts of the country. But it's just a question of how far north that low pressure is going to push. And will it push those heavy showers, longer spells of rain and thunderstorms into the UK? If that high pressure is just a bit further southwards, that blocking high, then it will fend off the worst of the low pressure. So it's a very, very subtle type weather pattern, and we're going to have a bit of a nightmare trying to sort this one out, I think, over the next few days. But we'll do our best. Right, so that's it for your videos for today. Tomorrow, we've got some more summer analogues coming up. I think we're up to the 9th analogues update for the summer of 2019. So that'll be the first video up tomorrow. Also, we'll have Gazza this Sunday roundup. And we'll kick off the updates for the late spring bank holiday weekend as well. That's all for now, though. And thanks for watching.